Today, I'm just going to uh, tell something that I learned recently. Uh, about, we posted a video on our Facebook page, which was the Isiemero family, the bloodline, and what they do in the Benin Kingdom. And that particular event led to something that I found out something that I was a little bit shocked and surprised about. And I would like as many as possible to comment on this particular video if they have had the same experience, if they know about it, or if they have an idea about it. I just want to know that I'm not also alone on this particular topic, especially for my Edo family, Edo people, and I'm sure maybe there are other tribes also that knows about this too. So we posted, anyway, welcome to Visit Edo page. This is a page that promotes tourism, culture, and tradition in Edo State. We want more visitors to come to Benin, to visit Benin, especially our people in diaspora to come home and visit, have their vacation at home, and also support what is going on in Benin City or Edo State and invest in Edo State, which is very important for the state to grow. So let me go back to my story. And if you've not followed us on YouTube, please do, because we really need a lot of followers on YouTube. So we posted a video recently about the Isiemero bloodline, the Isiemero, what they do in Benin. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. A lot of people said I should not be speaking Benin because I'm missing it with English. And at the same time, my Benin is not very, very clear. But that will not stop me anyway. That's what I said before. I will continue to speak Benin. But let me just say this in English and Pidgin English, or I can also miss it with Benin anyway. So if I don't pronounce it right, you can help me write it the right pronunciation, or you can tell me the right pronunciation. That's is a place to start. So let me continue with the story I'm about to tell, and I want you all to have your comments. So we posted a video about this Isiemero family and the bloodline and what they do in Benin, in the history of Benin, their part and the things. So I happen to come from that same bloodline, and I forwarded it to my uncle, and we were just talking about it. So we were saying a lot of things about it, and at the end of the day, I have been searching, thinking that my surname is my father's surname. And when I say my surname, I proudly say it, and I said, oh, this is my surname. And all this while I've been thinking, where the surname that I have, where does it come from? Which family line, which bloodline does it come from? You know, so many times, a lot of us do a lot of things. We don't know why we do them. We just do them. But many of us we're interested in history. We want to know more what happened, who is from here, who is this. So there's so many people out there that really want to know their bloodline, because we know that we the Benis, we are connected to one another in a way. We are all family, because if you trace this family to this family, it's going to this family, whether it's their ancestors, their generation, is one connected to one. So we are all connected to each other in a way. So I started to ask questions, because my father's name, the surname my surname, I have been thinking that is my bloodline. That is the surname. Because as an Edo woman, or as a Benin woman, I thought that your surname is from you're supposed to bear your father's surname. And that means that your father's surname is also the surname of his father and the other one. So that means that all of your generation, or that part, especially when you are a male child, we know that when female get married, they change their father's name to their husband's name. And if their father is so powerful and have a very the name that cannot go, they have to add their father's name to as their middle name before their husband's name. Some can even decide to retain their father's name because of the position or the position their father owns in the society, depending on how that person wants to do it. But what I didn't know is that people were answering their just father's name, not the surname. I don't know if you guys are getting it. I thought that the surname, someone's surname, that is, if your father's surname is, for example, if your father's surname is Esosa or is Ikpomonsa, that means that you need to answer that surname if that is your father's surname. And your father also got a surname from his own grandfather's surname. So I never knew that there are people, some people don't use their father's surname, they use their father's name. So I have been looking for, searching online and saying, oh, my surname, where does it come from? Where is it? And I never knew that my surname was just my grandfather's name. So that means that my father took my father's, that means my father was also answering my father's, his father's name. That is my grandfather. It was just his name, but not his surname. So, and I just believe that my surname, that is the surname of my people, that is the surname, that is their grandfather, that's the generational name, not knowing that, no, that is not the generational name, it was just the name of my grandfather. And my grandfather also have a surname. So that means that in the recent, with what I understood when I was growing, is that you have to answer the surname. So I would want some people to share light on this. Is it like you can pick your father's name, not the surname? Or because I think that when you pick the name, just your father's name, and you leave your father's surname, which we were told that is the name that you're supposed to bear, adding to your name. So when we leave our father's surname and we just bear our father's name, what happened when you traced yourself? Because that means that it gets difficult when you are tracing yourself to your grandfather, to your great-grandfather, because the name has been changed in the middle of not taking that name far back. So that means that tracing back far back, it might be difficult. So I recently learned that my father's name, that means that the surname that I bear was just the name of my grandfather, not his own surname. So that means that in the recent, I'm supposed to be carrying the surname that my grandfather had. But when I carry the surname of the surname that my father has on his own, and I have family members that also carry that surname, and that surname is just the name of my grandfather. So in this, I don't really know. Maybe I'm sure a lot of people also have the same experience. I would want them to share more light on it. If when in the Benin Kingdom or in Benin that people started answering their father's name, not the surname, if it's allowed in many families, and when it happens like that, how do you trace back your own ancestors? How do you trace back your bloodline? Because what I recently learned that my grandfather's name, the surname was different. So that means that if I had to count back to my grandfather's surname, if I have to bear that name, then I can easily trace that name back and I can really say that I later found out that I'm so connected to so many families that I never knew I was connected to, or that I never knew my bloodline went to, just because of that change of name. So I want people to share more light on this. What damage can that do? Or is it a normal practice in Benin Kingdom that you can just take your father's name and not take his surname? And why do people do it? And what can be the consequences for such things? Will people be able to trace back? How do they do it? Because if you have a name, a surname, that you believe that this surname is a generational name, this is the surname that your ancestor had, this is you tracing, and you say that this. But at the end of the day, maybe you later found out that, no, this was not really the name. This was just a name of your grandfather or your grandfather that they never took that surname inside. The surname, their real surname was not inside all this why. And when that in my own opinion, when that surname is not inside, then it's difficult to trace, because then you don't even know the father of your grandfather. Then you cannot trace back who is this person, who was this person, and who is this person. Because when you have that name, you can be able to trace back. But if you just have your father's name, which your father's name is just his own name, it didn't lead, it's only maybe your children, children that can trace back to your father because of that name. But you as a daughter or as a grandson, how can you trace back to past generation of past ancestors or living ancestors that this is your bloodline? How do you do it when that name in the middle of a lifetime, that name has been sorry guys, this light, the sun is coming from another place now, so the reflection of light is not on my face, but it's okay. Let me just complete the video. It's supposed to be a short one. So how do you not trace back and say, this is my bloodline, this is this? I just want you guys, if you have the same experience, if it's you think is a normal thing, that that is what they've been doing for a generation. There are people that just take their own father's name and they leave their surname, and their own kids continue from there and also pick their own name, and they continue and continue without really asking questions. Because if we have to look at it, if many of us have to go back and look at what if our surname is really the right surname that we're supposed to be bearing, maybe many of us will find out that it's not the right surname. Something happened, and maybe that's not the surname that we're actually carrying, that we're actually carrying just a name of our grandfather or just a name of our father, and not the surname. So what do you think? I just want to hear your opinion. I want to also hear your thoughts on this. If it's a normal thing that you carry your father's name, if it's, well, I think there's a consequence for this, because that means that you cannot really trace back. It gets difficult because that name you're carrying, the story ends there. The story doesn't continue unless you know the name of the next person for that story to continue and continue, for it to get to how come about, wish and wish and wish. So I just want you guys to share your opinions. Let me know what you think, because I am more than 40. I never thought that I could be just, I never thought about it, that there are histories, there are people, there are families that have bear just their father's name, not their surname, just their name. So I find it kind of interesting, strange. When I learned about it, I said, okay, I am going to bring this to the spotlight, since just for people to comment on this. If it's something that they know, if it's the law in Benin Kingdom, doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter that you're bearing your father's name instead of the surname, or if it has always been like that. And how do people now ask questions to trace back their bloodline? And because sometimes it's important you know your bloodline, because there are things that you might be doing, there are things that you might be thinking, there are things that might be happening, and you will not be able to kind of trace to where, how come? Because a lot of things is in our gene. The things we do, the things we sell, the things sometimes you just see yourself doing a lot of things, and you're not, maybe you look through your own family, the families that you know, there's nothing like that there, and you never know, you don't really know that this is not just, your family doesn't, just the family you know doesn't end there, it's more than that. And you never knew that there's a bloodline that has your gene that must have had that kind of thing, or that character or something there. So I just want you guys to share light on this. I really want to know more. I want to know if this is normal. I want to know if this is what people have been doing for long, and if this is it has been happening, because I just learned about this and I was a little bit surprised and shocked and said, so all these things that I believed, all these things that I thought were real, all this name that I was thinking was the grandfather's name, it wasn't. It was just his own name, and that name has been there. So at the end of the day, at least I know how to trace my own bloodline after I found out those I found out about it. So it's good to ask questions. It's good to talk to grandparents. It's good to know who is the father of the father, what's their surname, what's this. I think it's very, very good. And You will be surprised what you will find out. That you will be shocked. So please help us share this video. I really want a lot of comments on this video. I want people to just tell me what they think, what's their opinion on this particular topic. Thank you very much. My name remains Elizabeth Erati Mamo Hannisdal. I don't even know if I have to change the surname now. Thank you. Bye.